Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 18 of the Global Picnic. As you see, we're slowly approaching number 20. And as you probably see, for all of those who watch us regularly, on just a second. Okay. Just a small technical hiccup. For all of us who watch us live every week, we're still waiting for our number 5, so number 5th member of the Global Picnic community, Alberto, who will be joining us a bit later. We're very happy to kick off this episode with another, let's say, live, more or less Q&A session for all of the members who are here. We'll be talking about real questions and real examples that we get in our everyday business and our everyday lives that can help you either building your strategy on social media, getting on social media, connecting with people, creating your stories, optimizing your content, or just simply creating heart-to-heart connections, as we always say in this Twitterverse and also on this show. But before we officially kick off episode number 18, just short introductions for everybody who perhaps is watching us live for the first time, will watch the replay, or has not been properly introduced into the Global Picnic community and / family. My name is Zala Britzel. I am based in Slovenia. I'm a digital marketer and coach, and I do my work. I tell my stories. I empower others to find and tell their stories worldwide, all over the globe, because that's the beauty of the technology and the connected world and the power of World Citizens 2.0. So without further ado, I will ask any of my team members and family members to introduce themselves in whichever order you wish to.
Okay, I'm Dagmar Gattal. I'm international SEO consultant and SEO and inbound marketing strategist. And I really enjoy working with entrepreneurs who have a bigger mission, who have a greater purpose than themselves, who want to turn their expertise into global business. And coming back to global, that's why we're all here, to support, learn, and grow.
Thank you. Hi, Dagmar.
Hi.
Okay. Who's the next one in row?
The ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay. My name is Amalia Gomez. I'm from Colombia, but I'm living in Spain. I work like an e-commerce manager since 2007, and like a digital marketer too. I am the 5th member of the Global Picnic family, and I enjoy to contact with different people in the internet and in the global community. Hello, everybody. Hola a todos.
Hi, Amalia.
Hola, hi, Amalia.
Varun.
Yes. So, hello everybody. I am Varun from India, mostly working in the social media and content marketing space. Also, help some other people at startups and small businesses establishing their digital marketing, especially tracking in the social media marketing, and especially on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Still trying some new technology like Snapchat. I'm not an expert on that technology, but I'm also trying to get my hands on this kind of tech. So here we are discussing a social media marketing strategy. Hopefully we will add some value to your discussion. And over to Jala.
Hey Varun, namaste. Thank you. So while we wait for our, maybe you have not yet noticed, but just to fill you in, our lovely viewers from the beginning, we basically cover almost all continents. So we're talking to you from the background and the experience of Slovenia, Germany slash the USA, Colombia slash Spain, then only Colombia, so that's Alberto, and of course India, Varun. I think it's time that we, as we've mentioned, this hour is actually the time when you can pick our brains, and that actually our intention is that you get the most out of it, so that you get some tips and tricks, and maybe some aha moments, or maybe some of the answers that you were looking for. So we'll do our best to tell you most useful stuff, what worked for us, what worked for our clients, and what changes we actually introduced. The topic that we chose today is actually the topic that we kind of discuss on a daily basis, not just in the Global Picnic family and community, but also with our clients. I think that every day we get a question of the sort saying, why is this that I'm working on not working? Why is my content not performing? What's wrong with my website that, it does not return the, let's say, investment or the value that I want? So we'll kind of dive into, let's say, the three most common, or let's say, questions that pop up the most. So let's say from each of you, from your experience, for example, what is your, let's say, what is your best tip, or what is your answer to somebody who says, oh crap, I think that this is not working. Are we going into the right direction? We're kind of really lost. It's not, where we want to be. So we are not acquiring new clients. We are not getting new followers, or we're not expanding our community. So what the heck to do? So where to go, how to turn, what is your top trick, or what is your top suggestion that you would offer somebody?
Okay. If nobody starts, I'm not a social media expert, Varun is. So I do SEO and inbound marketing, but for my clients, when they say something, I first go into the Google Analytics and look if they have social media traffic, because what they think is often not what is reality. And then we look into where is the social media traffic coming, like from LinkedIn, from Facebook. And then they go back into their accounts and review what they can do better. But Varun, that's your expertise. But what do you say?
Yes, Varun.
I would like. Thank you. I would like to add what the Dagmar said. That you need to identify where is your customer. Like she said that she's using the Google Analytics or other analytics to find where the social traffic is coming from. Be it LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, whichever platform. You need to analyze where your customer or your target market is. In my opinion, if you are using social media just for fun or just for connect with your family and friends, you don't need any strategy. But when you add the marketing term in the social media, you need a proper strategy to handle it, because without a proper strategy you were not able to add value to your target market, or what's not able to generate traffic of conversation or a close sale. For that you need to understand that what your target market demands, or how you can solve their problem, or how can you add their value to your content can. Like if say that if you are a small business which is engaged in the let's say local grocery shop, or local grocery chain in the nearby area. So you need to provide that content which is related to grocery and how that grocery or how your service is helpful to that particular community. Is you maybe write on the trending topics and engage in the nearby community. It is not like that if you are a grocery chain and selling or you are promoting the like say the gym or the fitness thing. You can write on that thing too, but you need to sell the grocery, so you have to actually provide the value that how the customer can be find a value in your grocery chain, how you are valuable, is your selling what say is you can you provide that in a cost effective manner and in a fast way. So your content need to specify that you can add value to their what's a customer life journey and the value chain. And apart from that, uh, if you are making social media content, you need to find out what type of content they want to consume. If like they are younger people, they want to consume might videos. If you are doing in a B2B sales, people don't want to consume videos. They might be consuming white papers or the slide share. If like consumers in the 30 to 40, they might be interested in something like a long-term article or minimum 3 to 5 minutes of video. So there are different kind of segments which consume different kind of content. You need to know that what kind of content will sync with your target market, and then after you can build and engage with them constructively.
Okay, Varun, I am totally agree with you. I think
Thank you.
I think it's very important that you say you have to look for your target, and you have to think what is your goal in social media. Because you can work with different kind of media, for example, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But if you can't handle it, you don't have benefits in your business. You have to make a plan, and you have to know very well your target that you say. Because, for example, if you sell fashion complements, you have to search the best media to connect with your target along with your user. For example, Instagram or Pinterest, maybe it's better for fashion complements than Twitter. I don't know, it's only an example. And I think it's so important to check your strongs and to connect with the customer and create a bilateral connection with the social media. Not only to show your products or only to use like business, but it's also important to create a brand and a channel to connection.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Amalia. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, everybody. I was actually writing some of the things down because I think that these are really also gold nuggets, and also I'm looking sideways also to check if we get any questions or comments. And I would just like to add from my side, or let's say my point of view, or the work that I do via social media, with content creation, but especially with helping people find and word or embody their stories. And I think that I kind of always offer, let's say, three, maybe not offer, but I always think of three tips that have been valuable not only for myself, but mostly we've worked with them, with most of the clients. And I think that in the beginning, it's really sometimes it's really difficult for somebody to understand or envision the goal where they want to be. So it needs to be kind of a, I mean, we need to kind of look at, okay, so what is your plastic, let's say plastic idea of, for example, what your goal looks like? What do you want to do on, I don't know, this communication channel? What do you want to do there? What do you want to do with that content? And then we kind of go backwards. So let's retrace the steps, how to actually get there. So like a plastic example is, yes, for example, we really like the platform Facebook, we have our base there, and we want to reach, by the end of this month, we want to reach this and this much of people, we want so much engagement with the content, we would like to, I don't know, publish every day such content or this type of content, we would like our stories to tell, I don't know, value number 1, value number 2, value number 3, and then we kind of retrace it back. So how do we go about it? What baby steps do we do? How do we keep consistency? How do we keep on track of it? What are the tools that will help us? What are the internal resources that we have? So basically, this is kind of the, let's say, the overall or the bird view of what we do. And the second one is actually the thing that has been also the topic of our global picnic. So basically to think about, so why are we doing this? Why are we selling something? Why are we offering this solution? Why have we identified that this is the pain point of our customers? And for example, how does this align with our values? So with also our business goals, business objectives. So let's try to align this and let's see how we look at it, and let's see how our audience may understand it, or our audience may look at it. So we kind of need to connect the dots right there. And the third one is, I always, for example, we always get to the basics, which is we all kind of want to be on all the platforms, across platforms. We all want to be superheroes, superwomen, supermen. But basically, we're like monopreneurs or solopreneurs. Maybe smaller companies have 1 or 2 employees. So let's be really focused. So, and let's say, okay, we will start in the next 6 months, we will start with 1 communication channel, and we will try to, align it via our stories, via our content, via our whole digital strategy. And that kind of takes the fuss out of it, and it helps us to keep the focus, I would say.
I would like to add something that very important point to mention. That first point you mentioned, that we need to identify and quantify the work. So that we need that X number of things completed by the week or by the month. First point, like I always say that don't go on the network and spend your energy. Always put your top 5 networks that you can add as your target market and where you can effectively engage with everyone. Don't hope on each and every channel and don't reply and become like nightmare.
Thank you, Varun. I hope that my co-members heard you, because I wasn't able to hear you. But I suppose we were talking about identifying the channels, so where to strategize and where to focus our, not only focus, but where to focus our efforts, or where to focus our sales and so on. just either correct me in the chat if not, or maybe Dagmar or Amalia, if you heard it better, please jump in.
We wrote it. We didn't hear him.
Okay. I didn't hear it, sorry. I didn't also see it, but I think that this was also what came up when we were discussing about the topic. That is basically what we always, for example, discuss when we are consulting, or when we are coaching either people who are starting or people that have come up with the bumps on the road. So basically not to just spread too thin, but maybe be more focused or be more channeled. I think that Varun will go out and come in again. So we'll be able to hear his gold nuggets and his expertise.
Yeah, I would like to say something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for us humans, it's very challenging when, like, new business owners or business owners who have the pressure to make money, and they are in social media. A lot of times they think from publishing a lot they will get business, or they think from being active everywhere they will get business. But then they underestimate that their target market can fill if they are desperate, or they can fill if it's all about them, right? The business, not about the target market or the customer. And in my experience, especially this year, if people don't feel connected to what you share and it's all about you, then you really need to refocus your strategy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for jumping in, Dagmar, and also Amalia, because I think that this is a super valuable point that I also, when I started or when I worked in my previous jobs, would have appreciated oftentimes, because it actually, I think that it redefines the fact that it is, you can only be, it redefines the fact or the status that was before. So when we created a lot of content, when we did big advertising, when we had big budgets, and when we had, loads to say, we could be on top, we could be the first, we could be the only pick for our customers, or let's say the only pick for our audience. And I think that this is shifting also with larger companies or larger enterprises, and it's exactly what for all of you who maybe are watching the first time is actually, the standing point of Global Picnic. So in the first, let's say in the first phase, what is becoming more important now is that you are establishing a heart-to-heart connection, which is actually the term that Dagmar introduced in when we were putting together the community. And it's like, to give the feel of the people, to tell people who you are, to let them feel you. So who you are, what your values are, why you do something, not just what you do, but why, what is the motive, or what is the intent, the passion behind it. And it kind of creates a connection. It draws people in. Hey Varun, can you please, now that you're back in, can you say your what you wanted to edit before? So let's see if we can hear you now.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm all ears.
Okay, thanks to that great connection. So I just added that what you said, that in those 3 points, the first point, that quantifying your goals is very important. That you be targeting that X number of things I will achieve in the X number of days or in X number of weeks. And X number of conversation must be generated and X number of things that has to be against my goal. As your third point you mentioned uh, about the identifying the social network. I always say that we need to identify our top three or top five networks. Social media is very addictive, and we always try to own each and every network in the global market. Like currently on day-to-day basis, there are around 20 to 25 main social media networks on which people are hanging. But you need to identify top three or top five social networks where your target audience is. They might be on Facebook or they might be on Snapchat. There might be a case they are not on either Snapchat or Facebook. They might be in the some, let's say, the or the some forum is not related or not direct to social media platform. They might be on a closed platform or they might be on a public like platform.
Okay, Varun, I'm just writing. I lost you again. So sorry for that. For a minute, it sounds excellent. I can hear you, but then you kind of I kind of really just hear an echo and just a word out there. So we'll try to continue as much as possible. And without the further ado, our fifth member just kicked in and kicked somebody out. So hola Alberto, hello Alberto, bienvenido, welcome, dobrodošleo. Can you just say a few words for all of people who are watching? Please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. Sorry Dagmar for kicking you out. And sorry for my delay today. I just arrived to the office, but I am here for the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
Hello everyone. I am Alberto from Colombia.
Yeah.
Another member of the Global Picnic community.
So Alberto, we will just slowly go to number 2, and I'll just fill you in regarding the topic 1. So we were discussing, let's say, the most common questions that come up with our clients, or that the people we work with, or maybe with ourselves or our personal branding. So somebody comes and says, "Ooh, this is not working. This is not performing like I wanted to. My content is not making sense. My content is not being engaged with. My content is not being shared. Maybe my content is not written well enough. Maybe my content doesn't align with the pain points of my customers or my future customers, so my leads. So I'm kind of not seeing the return of what I'm putting in terms of social media, but not only social media. It can be sales, or it can be followers, it can be customers, it can be bucks, ka-ching, whatever. So we're basically going in that direction. And it is we're talking about, for example, what are our best, for example, tips, or 1 tip or 3 tips that we give to somebody who comes to us and says, I'm stuck, what to do, how to re-strategize, how to change, what to change, where to go. And we're all kind of adding our own flavor and spices in it. So culturally wise, expert wise, past wise, experience wise. We went from knowing your target audience, knowing your plan, knowing your strategy, working your way back to it, knowing what also Dagmar mentioned, and it's really important. It is knowing the motive behind it, or knowing the why behind what you do. Which can also be a connection to our audience. Feel free to jump in at any time you wish, gang plus Alberto. Going into that direction, why do you think that everybody who maybe experiences difficulties or experiences a bit of push in where they're going, they need to know, for example, what are the specifics of their local market or niche market, or why do we need to why do we need to not be spread across too thin? Why do we need to really know how and where to focus? Okay.
You give that to everybody?
To anybody who wishes to jump in. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Or Alberto can start.
Or Alberto.
Give me 5 minutes.
For
listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think you have to. This is the first need, I think, because you have to start with a plan. Because if you make different nets and different social media, and you forget that you have different, for example, you have your Facebook account and you never put post or you never work in it. I think it's bad for your goals because the data is so important. Like Dagmar said before, you have analytics and you have to see the different, how do you say, parts to your website, for example, or for your blog. And if you have Facebook and you never work in it, it's like a waste of time. But if you have a media, when you focus in it and you are concentrated and you put good content and you don't look like desperate, like Dagmar said, that you have interesting things and you follow a line, you have a topic and you show the real, that your company or your name, for example, if you have a personal brand, you can see in the future or in media term the results of the social media work, I think. But if you put in different medias and you never work in it, it's like a waste time and lost money in the final way. I don't know what Baron thinks about it.
I would like to add to think about the niche. A niche has a special demographics, has a special set of cultural beliefs. We need to respect it, and we need to plan our content and our strategy according to that. What is the cultural beliefs and what is the do for that niche and what is don't for that niche. A certain niche may be some very conservative beliefs, or some niche may be very liberal, so what say the very modern types of they are living a digital life or digital journey, but some niche maybe are so conservative that they are very sensitive to their cultural beliefs or their customs. So we need to plan according to the what our niche, and we need to identify the key traits, and we don't need, we always try to not to avoid them in any case by say the trolling or by saying on the riding on the trending waves of the social media. We always need to plan carefully according to our needs.
And I think it's so important to measure this plan, no? Because if you make a plan and you never take measures of the results, it's like a loose word.
Yeah. I have actually just thought about by listening to Varun and Amalia, and I totally agree with both. So my reality is a lot of times, which is very interesting. I have two clients with very similar niches. They both have Facebook business pages. They both post on a consistent base, right? So one client has high engagement activity, the other one does not. And interestingly is, just from an outsider perspective, and American English is not my first language, one speaks with the language of the target market and totally engages with them in their videos. The other one just provides how-to information. So it's just very interesting for me to see, we use the right niche, they use keywords and everything. So from a theory perspective, they do everything.
Yeah.
And from a plan perspective, they do everything. But what comes out of them, right? How much, I guess, they envision their ideal customer in front of them, so better it seems that they convert into lists and into webinars.
Yeah. When I was listening to this, and exactly now, for example, I'm going to use the sentence, I can so relate, because in the past few months, for example, I had 3 customers that were actually, they were going through a transition, and, the first thing is, we need to do social media, or we need to do web page or something like this. And regarding, we talk a lot about, I think there are a lot of buzzwords out there, and with all due positive respect, I think that niche is also a buzzword that we like to use, but we like to use it in a marketing lingo where we understand it. And I think for our clients sometimes it's really difficult, because I think that the niche or the target market audience really needs to be somebody who is in your head or in your vision, somebody that you really know in detail. So you've made the research in detail, and you kind of envision who it is, what they do, age, stuff, everything. So psychometrics, and you really need to kind of envision an embodiment of this person, and you kind of you can go so deep as to also feel and understand how you talk to them, how they respond to you. Because I think that nowadays, when we have for example, when we through storytelling we can use words, pictures, videos, and everything, I think that people can feel and sense when you're devoted and or when you're immersed into doing something. So you're really on one-to-one basis, or you really try to understand the mindset and the thinking behind of people that you're serving. So it kind of goes beyond the how-to or 10 best tips or 10 best tricks, because I think it's also on the unconscious way that they can relate to you or your services or your business.
Yes, it's all about the building a relationship beyond the content, and the technical content. You need to understand their consumption pattern and the day-to-day behavior. You need to humanize that things, humanize that niche. So what is their consumption pattern? What is their likes or what is their dislike? How they want to connect or what is their preferred time? Are they accept the still kind of pitch or they accept only the story and informal talk? We need to identify all these pointers and then according we need to engage with them and positively and
Varun, you've gone.
Yeah. Alberto, can I ask you to jump in from the content creation point of view?
I'm a little lost in the conversation, but can you ask me?
Yeah, I will ask you.
Yeah.
So if people come to you and they have this huge amount of content and they want that you help them to promote it, they expect that you can use all of them. How do you go ahead with that?
I didn't understand the question.
Okay.
Okay. For example, let me follow up with a follow-up question or follow-to question. For example, you know, there is an entrepreneur who, for example, needs content for their website and for their Facebook page. They have like gazillion of content, so a lot of content, either written questions and answers, support documents and everything. So there is a lot of it, and they want to use it, you know, to put themselves on the market, to engage with their audience, and also align it to a different platform. So what are your, for example, and they say, we are like completely lost. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to put where. Nobody's reading our content. Nobody understands it. So what can we do?
Okay. I really think, in my experience in money, we start in the wrong way because we don't create at the first time a communication channel with our audience. I really think that the first thing you need is a communication. One communication, or many ways of communication with your customers or with your audience. You need to say a lot of things, but they also need to respond and ask a lot of things. If you start this way, you are always listening your customers. We start with a landing page and we have no response not in our landing page or on our social media accounts. When we start the blog and when we start to talk directly and inviting people to our blog, our audience start to speak and to ask and to give us a lot of information that we didn't have before that. So I really think that my first advice to these new customers is, let's create a communication channel. Let's listen your audience. Let's make some polls. Let's make some quizzes. Let's promote some webinars in where the audience can talk and can ask. Because in business we are not how do you say vitrina in English?
I didn't understand. I didn't hear the word. What?
When the in the mall or in the shopping or in the shops, when the place where you show your products.
Like the showroom. I don't know what the name, with the glass.
like a shell.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I know now the Spanish word. We call it in Slovene izložba. It is like a showcase. So where you...
Showroom. Are you talking about a showroom like for a plumber?
No.
For example, in Spanish, you say escaparate.
Yeah, escaparate, izložba. Yeah, it's like...
Is the place when I put this?
Shop window. It's the shop window. Yeah. Shop window. So you put it in the shop window, yeah.
Many people think that business is like a shop windows. I stand here and I expect that people come to me, but I can talk as a customer to a shop window. And the shop window can listen to me, and that's the first mistake many business or marketers here in Colombia are making, that thinks that social media, web page, things like that are like shop windows, only to show what I do, not to communicate with my audience or with my customers or with my leads. So the first advice is learn how to listen your niche. Give them many ways to communicate with you. Phone, Telegram, I don't know if social media, email. Because we as customers, we need to talk to our providers. Sorry. We have too much to say, and sometimes brands are not listening to us, business are not listening to us. And when you listen, you got too many ways to help your niche, your customers, too many ways to find new opportunities. And content is a great tool for that, because you can create different type of content for different type of formats, for different type of media, and reach different type of leads or audience, and you can make some analytics in the response of that audience. Sometimes I put a poll in the money page and nothing happens. Sometimes I put another thing, maybe a meme, a meme, a meme, and we got too much interaction on that. That is saying too much to me. The poll doesn't work, but the meme work too much. So I start to iterate at that way.
Excellent. I think that this is actually a great point that is leading to also the most common question that I think people come and ask us, which is, we're moving from the digital marketing that we did before. So let's build it, they will come. When we build the best product, they will come, they will buy it. They won't buy just one, but 23. So we're kind of reversing this process, but I'm thinking about I would like to hear your tips, or let's say your pro tip about when people come to you and they say, for example, we've studied all the approaches, we've studied all the, what big brands do, who do it successfully, and so on. So it's like, all the tips and tricks in the world and so on. But one size does not fit all. So, for example, I put myself out to the digital landscape and nothing happens. So is it, me, or is it the tips that are not working? Are we a special company that, needs something special? So how do I find that, for example, how do I find that best combo, so best combination that can work for me?
I would do A/B split testing. I would test one element at a time.
Okay.
I was making a lot of experiments on marketing and social media with money, and for me there are two that work pretty good. That was the blog and the newsletter. Also the memes on my Facebook, on the Facebook page, and also downloadables,
Downloadables, yeah.
downloadables, yeah. Cheat sheets, ebooks, and infographics works very well. But I can replicate my experience with other. I really think that for a small business and for startups, they need to make their own experiments, and they need to know that these experiments are not expensive. You need to maybe learn a few tech tips for make it. But I really think I'm agree with Dagmar. You need to make a lot of A, B, C, D, E tests and analyze that.
I would only do A and B and compare two. I don't want to be the one comparing 5 elements. God, no.
Also, you need to turn yourself like Sherlock Holmes or Hercule Poirot. You need to see things when nobody see things.
Yeah.
Audiences and social media and analytics gives you a lot of information that you didn't see. You need to learn how to see that signals, and you need to
You mean how to understand the data, right? You see, is that what you mean?
To understand and but also understand, analyze, but also you need to you need some intuition, because maybe data are not too much evident for you or for your team, and you need to get some I don't know, like Houdini, like Harry Houdini.
Like a wizard.
If I can follow up with you, Alberto, there are like two things that, for example, that are my, let's say, my pro tips, or what often comes to mind is, and I'm giving a huge shout out to Marsha Collier, which really influenced also my work and my work with clients. And I think she's fascinating because not only did she write 48 books about e-commerce and digital marketing at all, but I really memorized what she says, and what is her motto. She says, find info that nobody else does. So, we can be covering the topic that like gazillion other companies or entrepreneurs or businesses do, but it's finding your way of finding interesting and valuable information that other people don't. Being kind and being serving with this to your community. The second like tip that kind of always springs for me to mind is that I always tell people baby steps. Like Rome wasn't built in a month. If you somebody, you know, like building up the ROI, you know, having huge communities, it didn't happen in a day. It didn't happen in a month. Maybe it didn't happen in a year. So let's set realistic goals and, you know, let's go mindfully about it. You know, it will take a lot of time, a lot of effort and engagement, and, you know, really detailed and explained baby steps that will get you on the way to, you know, to the big league or to where you want to be. But it's, you know, it's not like giant leaps, or it's not like, you know, I do one hack or I do one growth hack and, you know, I'm up there with the giants and people who have been, you know, maybe running their businesses for 10, 20 years, and you know, we've not seen the work that was put in the back or behind it. So you know, just make thick skin and you know, be perseverant, and you just never give up. It's like never give up. Test things, see why it's working, why it's not working, and really be, you know, consistent and persistent. Thank you very much.
Like Alberto say, you have to make a different trials.
Mm-hmm.
Because that things are good for you, maybe for the other company it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Because the size of the company is so important, and you have to specialize in one thing, and then you have to learn different kind of strategies, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Varun, would you like to add something? We're in the final minutes of our show.
Yes. Just two or three lines. Always analyze. If it is why working, if it is what why not working. Analyze every aspect. Why it is working, why not working. Because if it is in what are the objectives, what are the plans you are doing, what is your budget, what is your detail of your needs. So always focus on your analytics, as the Alberto said. You need to focus on analytics, but main thing is that analytics and the data is so overwhelming. So always try to find 3 to 5 things which you want to measure, and always focus on that 3 to 5 data points. So you can better get that set of what's it doables, which you can do in your day-to-day life or day-to-day marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have another thought
Yeah.
for share. I really think that business and marketing is like sports. You don't play the same match. You only play. You don't repeat
Mm-hmm.
the match. The same play on different matches. That is, well,
Uh-huh.
uno no juega siempre el mismo partido.
You never repeat the same match.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never repeat the same match.
Yeah.
And in business is the same. You can apply a recipe every day. Every day has different ways,
Mm-hmm.
different problems, different goals, different. So you need to teach on your path, on your way, and you only need to, maybe you can repeat some plays,
Mm-hmm.
but not the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm clear with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So and I'm with Amalia when she said many times you need to learn how to teach. You need to be. You need to.
To be a student, to like to be a teacher, for them to be a teacher, no?
Thank you.
Yeah, but you know, it's like it's a really good point. It's a really good point, and I think it's a really it's a really valuable point for also closing our show today. Because I also think that a lot of times we forget that our journeys, our paths, and also our business transitions are not the same. So they cannot be replicated, and we're all unique in what we do and in why we do. So this is really important in the hard times and in the tough times that come along, that actually help us, help us to push forward and not to give up, because we all have stories to tell. All of our stories are important. We just kind of need to negotiate and find either the right channel or either the right content form to do it. With this, my dear friends, I will conclude today's show, so episode number 18. Hopefully our suggestions, our experience, and our go-to tips or our pro tips were successful and useful for all of you who are watching us live or watching us on replay. Don't forget, we are all active on Twitter, so reach out via the hashtag Global Picnic, or reach out separately to each one of us via the hashtag or via our accounts, or via the emails that will be also, or websites that will be also shared in today's show. Don't forget, everybody, we get together every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Central European Time, and 10 o'clock Indian Standard Time, for all of us to get together. Feel free to shout out, give us feedback, and hope to see you next Tuesday on our episode number 19. Take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.